Excuse me.
Thank you, and thank you yet again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people all over the world. Thank you for coming to yet another installment in the RTP, the Rarely Typical Players Podcast. And today, it's not just me here, one man indie, but also I'm with my fellow brothers in this podcast, my brother D7, Dark Man Gaming, the
Yo,
originator
what's
of
up,
this.
fellas, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for once again returning to hear us out as we talk about Verloren.
Doug, whom I call the machine, because this man is dependable. You can count on this dude. You can set your watch to this dude. How many times you can see him doing his game dev on a Saturday, brother?
Thanks for having me again on the podcast. Saturday's pretty much the only day of the week that I have free without it being a shit show schedule. That's probably why you could set your watch to it. Otherwise, it wouldn't get done. So, anyway, thanks again.
And then we have here, all the way from Germany, the inspiration of RPG Maker game creation in its generation, SG Harlequin.
Jesus Christ, every time.
Hey, man.
Hello, guys. How's it going, man? I'm tired. I'm telling you, man. I'm so tired.
Ooh. Okay, well, as it does say in the title card, we did play Verloren by Fortuna Street. We're going to give our initial impression first. And you know what? I'm going to start off. I'm going to start off with Doug. Go for it. Give me your initial impression when the first time you played it, the initial time.
Okay. So my initial impression of playing the game is I do think it has some potential. But one thing that stood out to me right away that kind of bothered me about it was there was a lot of what I would call over explaining. Like sometimes I kind of just wanted to start playing the game, but it was like a lot of layers of tutorial, a lot of I felt like the dialogue was a little, even like between the characters was a little, not just lengthy, but it was hard for me to care about the characters or care about the world or the story from what I saw, and it felt like it took a little long to get to any kind of action. And then once I got to that action, it was kind of like it felt like a standard, RPG Maker game. But that's my initial impressions, just roughly.
All right, we're going to go with our resident German, SG Harlequin. Go for it, bro. Initial impression.
I mean, my initial impression. I mean, I already talked to the developer, and as I said, I already seen some streams. So when I played it myself, it pretty much affirmed my expectations I had for the game. It's like everything is so over explained, and there's so much like dialogue in there that just doesn't serve any purpose. Like the game failed to hook me with something, right? There wasn't really much to go off. Like you play this character, but I'm not really invested into that character yet, but I'm still expected to care about them for the dialogue and the tutorials and the story. But yeah, it didn't work.
And last but not least, we have D7, Dark Man.
How is that last? You ain't even went yet.
Because come on, man. Come on, man.
All right. I found the game to be more on the informational side, where there's a lot of dialogue and explaining, between the characters and the other students that's within the university, the school.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I don't really prefer games like that because, I just don't like school games. But, when you are a let's player or reviewer, you can't think about those things. You just gotta go with the flow and go with the punches. Other than the dialogue, you know, aspect of the game, I felt like, the game has a lot of potential. Even there were some fun moments in the game, some fun quests as well. But, once again, it's all about retaining the players' um attention when it comes to the game. And some people can't just go through the dialogue, you know. But other than that, yeah.
All right, so I guess it comes down to me. All right, I gotta be honest. The game seems, and just from trying too hard, trying way too hard, just trying too hard to try to build a narrative, trying too hard to actually, I guess, try to prove the game's validity, I guess is what it is. I'm trying to understand here with it, I guess. You can actually do a great deal more with storytelling, with actual interactions of the characters and everything else. And what Harlequin said, there were a lot of repeated and overemphasizing of certain things. Like once we got the initial part of saying using states or using certain mechanics, especially in battle, it didn't need to be brought up again in the battles that you had subsequent to that. So I'm just going to just go right into it after that point. Okay. When you first play the game, you first get introduced to the character and everything else. That part of the story, the initial, I guess, I played maybe 5 or 10 minutes. That pretty much told me everything I needed to know. It actually gave a good explanation of the battle system. Everything else. Now, the battle system does seem very interesting. It does. You have the ability of changing your weapon based on what kind of enemies you're facing. You can change your equipment in battle. I like those two mechanics. Those are very cool. And other things in the whole triad of the bash versus, I think it was a Piers versus something else. That was thought out, and I like that. And I was interested in what was going on with the blonde chick and her friend, or the one that she considered her friend, the one that she escaped from, whatever, when she took the baby. All those things I didn't have a problem with. That was great. But then it just seemed like everything was just so bogged down by just a crazy amount of just lore dump after lore dump after over explanation after over explanation. The character Angel, a lot of the times I kind of found her dialogue to be kind of condescending a bit. Didn't really like her as a character. And the other guy seemed kind of milquetoast. So it wasn't really a game. And I tried to play for it. I tried to give it as much as I possibly could, but like trying to complete all the quests, that was the problem. You have so many different quests to complete, which is just, to me, it looks like just busy work before you even get to the main part of the story, which is actually the competition to even get the game started. So it feels like you have like a huge prologue of stuff that you got to get through first, just before you even get to the chance to even play the real story of the game. You find it out. At that particular point, I literally was like mentally exhausted trying to play it. I couldn't do it. Honestly, I mean, I gave it a try. I tried to give it a try. I tried to, okay, maybe something else. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I just give it a try. Nope. And I really I was more interested in trying to find out what the whole story is about Angel. But you took so long to even get to the point where she even moves the story along, because you just mired down in this, just, like I said before, just busy work. So yeah, that's me. So I mean, you guys got it. Don't want everybody speak at once now.
All right, I guess I'll go then. So, yeah, I started the game and immediately I was like, why is this game not 16:9? Like, in this day and age, please use widescreen resolution. That's like a single edit of a single parameter in a single plugin. Like, that's no effort at all. Do that. We don't need black bars on our side of the screen anymore. Then there was no WASD, of course. I don't know. I think there may be some custom buttons that occupy that space or not. I don't even remember, man. That game was so exhausting to play. I don't even remember half the shit anymore.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, you can make WASD your default key binding with a single edit of a single line. Also, not really a lot of effort. So that's something. On the other hand, you try to have like all these options, which is good, but on the other hand, you're kind of obscuring everything again with your custom button. I don't know.
Go ahead, Doug. You were saying something?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just gonna add something really quick to what Simple Gaming was saying. So there is a plugin for the keyboard config from that it's a YanFly plugin, and
yeah, that's in there.
I actually set it in my game so that you can do arrows or WASD, just like more ways to get to the same thing for depending on how you like to play.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you can edit the plugin. There's one line of code in the plugin where you can set the default. So you don't need to go into the options and set WASD. You can set it to the default setting. So your player doesn't need to use the fucking arrow keys to navigate through the menu, because the WASD layout in YanFly's plugin does not prevent you from using the arrow keys. You can literally just enable that and the keys will stay the same for like 99%. So I don't see why you don't do that. Like, just change it.
Well, you can do both. I mean, because I actually
that's what I mean.
Because in my game I actually use the arrow keys, or I prefer to use the arrow keys, but I could totally understand why somebody would prefer to use WASDs, but both work. They both totally work at the same time.
If you set the YanFly plugin to WASD layout, it still has the arrow keys. That's why I'm saying you set that to the default, because the arrow keys still work anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So why just save your player the extra menu navigation? There's no need for that. And then you start the game after mostly every PC player goes into the options setting before starting the game, right? Everybody does that. And then you start the game and you set all the options again via a dialog menu, which is, I don't know. I wouldn't put it there, but I can see that some people may not use the options menu, so there's that. But I don't know. There are better ways to make like the option selection like more immersive and things like that, than just a black screen and a text box, because that's boring. And then you have this starting story, right? That was the pretty much only okay part of the game.
I like that part.
That part was okay-ish.
Yeah, it makes me curious.
Like, it still took a long time to get somewhere, but you didn't have to read so much. It was like a cutscene, right? That's okay. Like, good enough. What I didn't like was the weird action sequences. Like, I think there's a bug in the action sequence right at the spot where the footage is. Like, your clone fights this captain girl, right? But in the battle screen, your clone kills the captain for some reason. But your clone is the one who is dead after the battle. Like, that was weird. And there's this one attack, like what was it, fan of knives or something, where she just attacks with randomly placed attacks. I don't know what that was for, like, I don't know, 2 minutes.
Yeah,
that was weird. That was so
yeah,
weird. That made no
yes.
sense, and it looked awkward as hell. I have no idea what was going on there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the best part of the game, is your intro cutscene, and then you end up in the school, and then there's like tiny little details I like, right? Like the cupboards you could actually open, like they open and they close when you check them out. That was cool. And
that attention to detail I liked.
Yeah.
And I was excited. Okay, if she went into this much detail about it, this is going to be good. And
that's what I thought too.
And I'm like, okay, this is going to be
great. That's what I thought too.
I cannot
They putting so much effort into like a small detail like that, and then completely mess up the rest of the game. Like,
I was like,
why?
Like, bro, why?
Yeah.
Why
but I really like the music in the school, though.
Yeah.
Like I really like was vibing with the tune. That's why I even played as much as I did, which was not long. But yeah, like as soon as you finally end the dialogue and you get to move around, you don't really get to move around.
No, you don't.
You go down the stairs and then the next cutscene plays, and then you go 2 steps in another room and another cutscene plays, and there's so much to read and it all means nothing. You're not invested in any of the characters.
Nope. Because you don't even get a chance.
There was no hook or anything. Why would I care about anything about these characters? But yet they still talk with no end. And then I get to finally do my quest, right? The preparation part, where you're supposed to do all this busy work. And I already knew it's gonna be more tutorials. It's gonna be a battle tutorial. It's gonna be that tutorial. But I already spent 30 minutes to even get there. Like I needed to play 30 minutes to get to the tutorial part of the game. Like, what? Why? So I skipped all that. I went straight into the cellar because one of the quests was like fight in the cellar if you want to. And I did a battle and that was pretty underwhelming as well. Like, okay, cool, you can switch your weapons and stuff like that. Okay. But that was it. And nah. The music couldn't hold me any longer after that. Like I did really not want to play these combat tutorials and all of that. Like I skipped every tutorial I could, but I still knew how the battle system works, so I don't really know why there is so much tutorial, because it's really not that complicated.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I stopped then because I just couldn't bother doing all these quests that are essentially just more tutorials.
It literally just excuse me, just bogged down the whole story.
Yeah, I want to know what's happening. Like, not only did I not get hooked yet, but I also didn't have the chance to get hooked because there was nothing there. Just blah, 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 and about random stuff that doesn't matter. Like, yeah, you can take a bath, and yeah, there's 50 gold there. Okay, cool. But why do I need to read 10 minutes for that?
Yeah, I also had a hard time kind of getting a gauge for the overall plot or the characters. So like where's this story going? Why is it important? What are the problems in this world how did this child? Why was this child stolen? You know, I actually don't know. It's kind of hard to tell where it was going. As far as I can
take 30 minutes to get into the school. So if you lasted for that long and are still interested in the story, you still not get any more story because you got to do all this busy work before you even get to any significant part of the game.
And that's a doggone shame, because you initially have the player automatically interested in what is happening. You see somebody kidnap a child. Okay, what is it about this child that is worth them getting kidnapped? You don't even get a chance to even find that out because, like Harlequin said, you don't even get a chance to even get to the next story beat, which apparently is, I guess, which I'm assuming happens after you beat or go through the tournament. I couldn't even. I tried. Like, you literally looking at it. I literally tried to get.
I mean, you played like an hour, did you?
Yeah, almost an hour and 10 minutes.
You still didn't get to the tournament?
No, because for
fuck's sake.
Because the tournament, because what you gotta do when you look at the quest, you have all these other things the quest to do before you even get to it. So now I had to go through the first floor, had to found dude. Then we get down to the second floor. We had to talk to the guy. But they only talk to the guy, you got to get his book. So you got to look around for his book to get to him, to get to the doggone tutorial on magic, for you to have the tutorial magic battle. And then it was ridiculous. It's like, and then you got to talk to the other chick. Thankfully, that was straightforward, and you didn't have to do that too badly. But after that, then you got to go through, what was it? You got to go through this quest where you got to find this chick's card, because if you don't find it, then she's not going to fight at her best and triumph without whatever. This doggone line, it seemed really condescending with that stupid smile and shit. Triumph without something is not worth it. It's just, and I was like, you know what? I can't. And then you still had other stuff you had to do. You had other stuff you had to do after that, and then you had to fight the monster, and then you would get to the. I was like, bro, I can't. No.
Yeah, that's like two hours of
dialogue
and tutorial before you get to the next like significant part of the game.
I
like
couldn't do it.
Story progression.
I could not do it.
That's insane, man.
I couldn't.
Crazy.
I had other things I needed to do with my life and time than trying to do that, bro. It's
we all know I have very little patience for these RPG making games. We all know that, right? And we all know I'm pretty blunt about that. But if even you quit a game because it's so badly designed in that way, like, man, that means a lot.
Here's the thing about it. I'm going to say this to you now, Fortuna Street. There is potential in your game. However, you have to, and I'm going to say this, trying to be as nice as I possibly can. You have to get your ego out of the way of telling the story. Do more showing, less telling.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah, let the player come to that conclusion. I'm saying this to you because I know it may sound harsh, but it's going to make you a better game developer when you hear this, because I'm hoping you take this feedback. Please get out of your feelings and just listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm not saying it to be callous. I'm not saying it to hurt you. I am saying this to give you something that you're going to need to be better. What you have done in this game has literally hobbled it from being in any way, shape, or form enjoyable. And it's a doggone shame because you went through the effort. I know you did, because you went through the effort of trying to write out this doggone cutscene. That took effort. So now you literally have you literally had the cow. You said, oh, I love you so much, Bessie. I love you. Oh, Bessie, so good. The cow gave milk and then literally kicked the daggone bucket with the milk right in it. Just kicked it right up, looked you you in the face and said it. Said, moo. This is what happened. Don't do your story like that. Please do not. Do not devalue the effort you took into creating a story by burdening it down with just useless and needless effluvia. Please.
Yep.
So this part particularly that's on your screen, right? This could actually be some kind of cutscene that would be. You could do it in a more interesting way. Like you could have some character maybe like telling you about it, and then it goes into like a dreams. I don't want to say dream sequence, but it's like it's showing the player what the events that occurred as a cutscene or something, and it would make the lore more interesting. I guess that's yeah.
Yeah, but the game already has too many cutscenes though.
No, it's not. It's not really a lot of cut. I mean, like a little bit more cinematic. You know, it's more. It
needs to be shown.
Because when you're making an RPG, right? Sometimes people think of it as a book, that you're writing a
Yeah.
book, but it's more like you're writing a movie, like a screenplay, and like literally the characters are referred to as actors. So like, but you're the director and you're controlling the actors, and
Exactly.
what is the movie that you're showing, and will that hook the player? And it's a challenge. It's easier said than done, and people can make a lot of different mistakes in trying to do that. But sometimes this felt more like I was reading a book rather than watching a movie.
Yeah.
D7, come on in here, man.
Many do that.
Come on,
And
D7.
the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you guys. I mean, you guys is not saying anything wrong. You know, even when I played the game, you know, you kind of stop caring about what is being said because there's no action going on. So as a developer, you got to figure out what can you do in between the side quests that we're getting that are part of the main quest to the main story. What can you do to make the player more engaging with these quests that we're getting? You know, like we gotta find this teacher, we gotta find these cards, we gotta find these books, like stuff like that. That's not fun. That's not fun. You know what I mean? Like, the developer is really great at making puzzles. Not even gonna lie. The developer is really great at making puzzles. Maybe you could have, for each quest, maybe made it a bit puzzle. That way it shows some type of interaction and entertainment with the player than just running around and just doing quests. You know what I mean? But I feel like, you know, a developer has 10 minutes to make their game interesting. You got 10 minutes. Like, if it's a demo, you got to win me over within 10 minutes. You know, oh man, this game is getting good, or this game is going to be good. And the developer did that with the first cutscene.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just like somebody said, you know, a baby is being kidnapped. Then we're naming the baby. Then next thing we know, we're in the school. Then everything just went downhill. But sadly, it picks up after so much play time. You know, majority of your players may not even stick around. You know what I mean? To play it out. You know? So you gotta ask yourself, is my game a commercial game? If it's not a commercial game, then the player who's playing your game ain't gonna really care, because they didn't lose anything except their time. Now, if it's a commercial game and somebody bought it, then they're forced to play through it. That don't mean that they're not gonna like it, but they're forced to play through it because they paid for it. So they want to get their money worth to continue the story. But not everybody ain't gonna do that. Some people may request a refund. Some people may say, man, forget this game, I'll play it later, and just, you know, put it on the back burner and not even think about it ever again. You know, so you don't want that for your game. Nobody want that for their game. But at the same time, you know, I think the developer needs to, you know, maybe cut out some stuff. You know, and just change the narrative, like the first hour of the narrative around, you know, so we could have what you call a shortcut to get to the good stuff. And I'm just being honest. Like after 30 minutes and we're still hearing the same music and walk around in circles, because that's what you do in this game. You walk around in circles too.
Oh man.
You know, you going from room to room, checking room to room, trying to figure out what to do. You know what I mean? And that's not really fun, because, you know, to a player, you're just forcing them to keep hearing the same music and seeing the same and repeating dialogue because it gets stuck. but not. I mean, that's not. I would recommend a change of narrative. You know, get to the good stuff. You already started off with a rising climax, then we just went downhill to just lore dump.
And I've spoken to a bunch of like developers that make these kinds of games by now, and it's always the same. It's always like someone's first project, or someone's like opus magnum project, like your dream game or whatever, and it's always the same. If you tell them there's too much needless dialogue and tutorial in there, it's always the same. It's always, I don't need many players to play my game. It's not designed for a large audience. It's supposed to be a slow burner. Like, get that shit out of here. Get your ego out of here. Like, even slow burner games are not that slow. Even slow burner games have cutscenes with action in them. Even slow burner games have at least like voice acting, so you don't have to tire your mind out reading all that shit. So it is not right. These defensive arguments are just meaningless. Like, you can say, oh, my game is not for a large audience. Sure, if you want to think that, then go right ahead. Keep your game on itch for free and let the 5 people who downloaded it play it, I guess. But I don't know.
See, another thing, you could tell with this game, this developer really wanted to go all out with their creativity. You know what I mean? You got a freaking casino in the place. You know what I mean? Like,
in the school, nonetheless, promoting gambling from a young age.
I'm just being for real. Like, unless your whole game is gonna take place in this castle or this school, you know, you should section it off. You know what I mean? Like kind of made it like a puzzle. This game probably would serve best as a puzzle game. You know what I mean? Like one big open puzzle mystery game. Maybe, you know, problem solve and, you know, solve this riddle, that riddle, find this clue, that clue, because, you know, it feels like that's what you're on anyways. You know, but yeah, what I would do, I mean, even the battle system, don't get me wrong, the battle system is okay. It's not the best battle system, but you know, some battles are creative, like with the skeleton in the chandelier. If you knock the chandelier down, you know, you kill the skeleton and stuff like that. And
see, I would have liked to get to that part to see the kind of stuff, but it's.
You ain't get to that part yet.
I told you.
None of us did.
I told you what my whole entire thing is. I spent over an hour trying to go through just meaningless, just flotsam and jetsam tasks, unnecessary to even get to that point. And I thought I could. I guess if I was to start over now, then I probably would have gone through that a lot quicker. But my first initial playthrough, I didn't know what was going on, so I had to try to search, because the straw that broke the camel's back was the fact that I had to try to find this card. It's supposed to be a side quest, but you're supposed to find this card for this card game that what Harlequin said, the triple triad knockoff, so that you can have a better battle with your rival or whatever. Now, part of me was like, what I should have done, I should have just said, screw it, keep on going anyway. But I figured it's probably something that was going on in the battle, or some kind of something that I might have missed in the story if I hadn't done that, if I had cheated, something like that. So I wanted to see what it was. Now we got to try to go through the ladies' dorm room, and that's why I got stuck, because the dude didn't want to go into the woman's room, but there's no way of getting rid of him. Like, okay, so what do you do with him? And I was stuck. Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to take him up to the boys' area and he leaves, or what am I supposed to do at that point? That's why I was stuck, because Dude didn't want to go into the ladies' room, and I get it. You're a guy. You don't want to be seen as some kind of a creep or pervert going into some girl's room. I get it. Okay, fine. But then what happens next? What am I supposed to do with him? He's not going to stand outside and just wait. So it was like,
Okay.
like I couldn't, at least at that particular point, I didn't figure out a way of actually ditching him so that I could actually look in the girl's room to find the doggone card. And it wasn't explained to me how to do it because he was tagging along.
Well, I could tell you guys, the game do get better. The game does get more interesting. It does pick up a bit, and stuff like that. But the main problem is, sticking around to that
Get to that
moment.
point. Yeah. Like I said before, this
So go ahead.
There's something there that it looks like it's just like out of reach. It's like it's just right there. It's kind of like, how like in Saw sometimes, where like he'll give you put like a key in your hand or something like that, but you got to reach your hand in to get it, but then you got to pull your hand back through all the razor blades to get it.
Yeah,
it's like that. Like I go, okay, I can see there's something good in the story, but I got to reach my hand through this freaking razor sharp spike-filled sleeve of thing that's to get to the key, to pull it back out and to cut myself, lacerate my doggone arm to shreds just to get the key out, just to get to the doggone good part. It's almost like right there. It's tantalizing, man. It's like oh.
Yeah, the game starts.
I'm not gonna say that this is the only game that does it. It is not. You know what I mean? Even AAA titles does this. You know what I mean? It does. Persona, it's a really great one. Even the new Hogwarts Legacy does it too. You know what I mean? So
we can't talk about Hogwarts Legacy now. We can't do that. You can't say
the developer.
Sure
Hold on.
Hogwarts Legacy has voice acting and hasn't the characters just standing still while talking.
But this is RPG Maker, man. This is RPG Maker. You can only do so much to one's ability. You know what I mean? But like I said, once you get to a certain point, the game gets better. But is likely a person may get there. So developer, you got 3 out of 4 people that pretty much feel that you need to, up your game up a little bit because they wasn't interested in your game. So
it started off so good.
Yeah.
So as a developer, and you getting opinions from other developers with a non-biased, opinion towards your game because they have nothing to gain or anything from saying it's good or bad. I think you may want to take heed of people's advice. You know what I mean? I really think people should take heed of other advices sometimes.
It's you got to get rid of the purple prose. I'm assuming that you're a writer, so you know what purple prose is. But for those who are not, purple prose is just basically overwriting when it's not necessary. It's waxing grandiloquent for no reason. You don't need to do that. And the writer is not going to enjoy it as much as you enjoy filling the page with just random words. You gotta trim the fat. You got to take out just literally just take out the doggone the quest in the middle of the school. Just take it out, or just leave it to just go over magic with the one guy, go over combat with the other chick, fight the other thing, and then literally go on to the rest of the story. Because if you put in so many different things before anyone can actually get down, like Dee said, to get down to the part where the game can be truly enjoyed. It's
agreed.
It's getting to the point where, and I'm usually a pretty patient game player. I like to try to explore things and try to see what's going on, maybe find any bugs, anything. And I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Once I got to the part where dude didn't want to go into the doggone room to freaking find his chick's card, I was like, and he couldn't leave. I didn't know. I had no way of ditching him. By the way, how did you get past that, D7? What did you do to get the boy Edwin to I guess I don't know, screw off somewhere so that angel could look in the room? What did you do?
Man, shoot.
Do you remember? You don't even remember. See, that's not good.
He's just being half asleep, talking to every NPC 3 times, and somehow he just happened across the solution.
Man, I ain't gonna cap. I don't really know.
See, that's not good.
Only thing that really stood out was the beginning and the puzzles.
Oh man.
And some of the battles. Other than that, like I said, you start to tune out certain parts of the game.
Oh boy.
And when I play games, I scroll past. Once I feel like, oh man, won't they be quiet? I just scroll past it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the game starts off so good, right? You have this cutscene. Okay, there's some weird shit in there, some weird action sequence. All right, I can deal with that. Then you end up in the school. All right, there's a tournament.
Yeah, the girls' bathroom. Yeah.
Tournament, nice, gonna be lit, and then it just hits you. Like, no, you're not getting to the tournament unless you just fucking, like, I don't know, milk the cow, make some cheese and whatever, not all. Like, why are there these ridiculous, unnecessary, like, quote unquote side quests you have to do?
Okay.
I would argue you don't even need the combat tutorial. Like, to be honest, your combat system is not complicated.
And
you don't need a tutorial for that.
He's still going through a tutorial.
Yes.
And
you don't need 5
minutes.
Yeah.
You don't need that shit. There is no complexity here. You're like, okay, you can change your weapon. You got different elements. Like, that's RPG standard. Every RPG game has some kind of elements, and yours happen to be able to swap gear during combat. That's nothing new. I can wrap my head around that without a tutorial.
Why?
Fortuna, you're correct. But Fortuna, I get it. But there's no way I would have known to go to the girl's bathroom to get rid of him. You see what I'm saying? There's no way I would have known that. I would have had to try again to look around again. And after playing through an hour of a lot of reading and a lot of tutorials, I was like, I can't. I was just done.
Can you even remember all tutorials? Do you even remember how to play this game after doing 15 of them?
I think I still do. That's not the battle system. Honestly, you really didn't need that many tutorials. The first tutorial that you gave in the cutscene was more than enough. Everybody can pretty much figure out the magic system after that. So honestly, you really didn't even need to have the battle.
Exactly. That's what I was just saying. You don't need any of these tutorials anymore.
But this is the thing, the developer want to be thorough in everything with the game, so they feel like they have to explain everything.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense, man. As a player, I'm not gonna go and grab a game and when I'm gonna be required to play 5 hours of some shit to get to any good part of it. No.
Dude, that's insane, boy. I swear.
I gotta be honest. That is insane. Wait, it don't get good till 5 hours into it. Okay.
You can say what you want. Your game is not for a wide audience. Your game is not for any audience. There's 6,000 free RPG Maker games on itch. I can pick literally any other game and get the same.
But think about
I'm not gonna say this game isn't for somebody. I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there.
Yeah, of course.
They was like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!"
But imagine if someone came to walk up to you on the street and tell you, "Hey, man, this is a great game that came out there, It's by an indie developer. It's so awesome. It's so intricate. It's so unique. But you gotta get players for like, oh, okay, yeah, great. I'm interested in playing it. When does it get good? 5 hours.
Like it's like playing an MMORPG, man. You gotta play 1,500 hours until you can finally go to the raids.
In all fairness, though, some AAA games are like that, and it's still good.
Yeah,
but
I mean, so
people play that because it's AAA.
We can't really say, hey, this developer, your game ain't gonna be good because you got all this lore. The game isn't just for us.
I'm
or
saying
some of y'all.
the game has a lot of potential, and what I saw initially hooked me already, and I was really ready to go. But then when you got me going around with some dude that's not going to go into a girl's room because it's a girl's room, and I have no remedy. There's no remedy presented to me to get rid of him, so I can go through this doggone quest, so I can go on to this doggone story, which I was already trying to find out 50 some odd minutes beforehand to try to get to. I can't.
Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop.
You can't expect somebody to have that level of patience. You can't expect that.
You gotta have patience. You gotta have patience, man, because you could be missing the gym. You could be missing something, so you gotta keep grinding. You gotta keep pushing yourself.
Okay, look. I think I'm probably the oldest person here, right? Of all 4 of us. I remember the old school games. I remember Magic of Scheherazade. I remember Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3. I actually faked sick one day to actually go through and beat Super Mario 1, 2, and 3. I know about getting to the grind. I played Dragon Quest. I played Final Fantasy. I played all these RPGs. I know about the grind. But unfortunately, the reason why it's called the grind is because eventually, at some point, a person is going to be mentally exhausted with playing that. And if it feels like busy work, some people are just not going to be interested. They're just not. If it's not something that's literally relevant to the story. And I'm saying this to Fortuna, please don't do your story like that. You have something interesting in that story. You got a kind of a Harry Potter type of thing going on, at least from what I saw initially.
That's what it feels like. Harry Potter with some persona.
Yeah.
So I would have had it like this. You know, like with Harry Potter, they have classes. You go to classes, you do stuff, you do a trial. It should have been done like this. Should have been done like that until stuff hits the fan.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it should be. But unfortunately, it's not by way of design and way of story. And I do agree. Maybe you got to take your scissors and you got to snip it. You got to make some snips here and there. You know, because like I said, the game gets really good. Like I won't say how much good because I haven't beaten the game yet, but it gets better. It gets better, but not by much because you still got that. You still got, you know, the dialogue and stuff.
Really,
but it gets better. It gets better.
Having some magic classes and some neat mini games, man, that would have been cool though.
Yeah.
Like no joke. Like actually going to like a magic class and shit like that, doing some magic related mini games or whatever. That's fun. Awesome. That's engaging. Yeah. But what do we get instead? Like we read a tutorial after tutorial, then we go find a letter and read some more tutorial, and then we go find some kind of triple try card, and then we get some more tutorials. Like what? Why?
I'm sorry, man, but Harlequin, man, just make me laugh. The way he be explaining stuff.
I really, because the instant when I saw all the level of detail in the tile set, when the doors for the wardrobe open up, the drawers slide out, and when I saw when I saw that level of detail, I was like, okay. We got something.
Me too, man. I was like, that's neat. That's cool. Somebody put some effort in there, and then
Yeah.
I tried to get some gameplay in there, but there wasn't any.
And I
There's gameplay. You just gotta look for stuff
You just
and
gotta
go and
play
press
for
it.
5 hours until you can get to any significant gameplay. Nice.
and that's, dude, that's asking a lot of your
Man.
player. That's asking a lot.
And you
may
can
not see
say
those
what you want.
changes.
Like if you made a commercial game, you have 2 hours at most. If you don't manage to interest your player in your game in 2 hours, you're getting a refund. That's how it works. If your game is not fun within 2 hours, you're getting a refund. And if you make a free game, cool, you can argue that, and you can argue it's a free game and nobody cares. Yeah, sure. But on the other hand, you're reaching out to streamers and let's players and whatnot, and you want your game played. So I don't know, what is it you want? Do you want no players and this is just a niche game 5 people will like, or do you actually want an audience or not?
Speaking facts.
Go ahead, Doug. I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, this was a while ago, but I was gonna ask how old are you exactly?
I'm
just curious.
God willing, I'm willing to say it. This coming May, I'll
Not
be
you,
46.
not you. I think talking about the developer, right?
Yeah, no, that's what right. Well, yeah. No, I was just I meant to ask it quickly when I was going to say something and then it skipped past. But you said 36. I'm 37.
No. I'm 40. I'll be 46. God willing.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you are the oldest one.
What? One man.
Damn, what are you doing here, man? You ancient. Go back to your Game Boy, dude.
Gosh.
Go back to your Atari, your Commodore 64.
Jesus.
Not even that. Not even that. He going back to stone and marbles.
He going back to the good old days where you spelled boobs on a calculator for fun.
Okay, look, we're talking about that. That's
He played with them peg, them peg stuff, them peg board games.
Oh my god. But yeah, man.
I wouldn't even thought you was that. Dude, I thought you was in your 30s. Not even gonna lie.
But in all seriousness, to get back to the topic, if this game had get rid of all these tutorials, they are unnecessary, 100%, and put some magic classes and mini games in there, that would fix this game right up. Give me some mini games, something fun to do, while also driving the story forward to get to that fucking tournament. I wanted to see it. I got this cool cutscene going on. Oh, cool! There's a tournament, man. Tournaments are always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Beating people up is always fun. But you then stop me for another 2 hours to get to that part. You're dangling the carrot in front of my face, but you're not giving it to me for hours on end. That's not how games work.
Maybe it could be this. This could another be a problem. The developer give us too much open exploration to do so early on.
I didn't know exploration. I only got the quest.
Soon as you go downstairs, from the beginning, after you get the stuff from her room and stuff, you can explore every feet of the building. You know what I mean? So maybe restrict some areas off and just focus on the areas you need to explore. Could cut some time down.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, if you really wanted to keep all these ridiculous quests in there, sure, why not? But I mean, I think the real issue is there's so much to do, which is nothing to do. It's just running around fetching shit and reading shit. Give me interaction, give me gameplay, give me mini games, give me something that's not walking and reading. You already have this long intro cutscene. I want gameplay after that. And walking and talking is not gameplay.
Well, there's such a thing as a walking simulator. I mean, that's a game. I mean,
Yeah, that's an entirely different genre, but that's not what was advertised to me.
But yeah,
Hey, walking simulators don't have that much dialogue as far as I know.
Oof. Oof, man. But it's honestly, Fortuna, please. I'm literally begging you. Do not do your game like this. Don't do your story like that. There's a lot of people who would be, I'm pretty sure, would probably love your story, but you're literally weighing it down with this. You're literally weighing it down. And
absolutely,
you're doing as a developer yourself, you're doing your story a disservice with this. And I would really like, I know it's going to take some time, and yes, it will, but if you're a writer, you've probably heard this before, writing is rewriting. So in terms of game dev is re-game dev. Sometimes you're going to have to go back.
So much.
Yes.
So much.
Yep, a lot.
Oh my God, so much redoing everything.
You're going to have to go back and just go back again. And like T7 said, grab the scissors, snip, 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 snip. You're going to have to do a lot of cutting. But I'm telling you now, once you have trimmed off the fat, your game will be like Goku. After they drop off that heavy weight and stuff like that, and they start acting like the feeling that they can fly, I'm telling you, if you cut off the excess crap, your game will fly. I promise you that. If you're willing to do that, if you're not,
I'm definitely in all support of this project.
Yeah.
I would like to see this project very successful.
Yeah.
Like I said, like you got awesome puzzles. Like the fun factor is definitely there. You know, it's just, man, like the challenge is getting the player past the first few hours.
Yes, it is.
Well, I would say the first hour, because you know these people, they admitted 30 minutes they had enough. They had enough after 30 minutes.
I tried.
So you gotta.
I even haven't read the books. Like I see so many books in this footage, man. I didn't even read all that, and I still didn't get. Like I skipped everything I could, and it still got me nowhere in 30 minutes. Nowhere.
That's all I really gotta say about it. Anybody else got anything to say?
Yeah, that's the main gripe with the game. Like, we didn't really see anything else of it, aside from D7, of course.
Hey, D7 saw a lot of it. So,
yeah,
all
I seen a whole lot. Yeah, I seen a whole lot of the game. Like the game actually gets good. Like it actually gets good.
You also said not so much.
You got strategic battles as well. Even boss battles are strategic. You got choices. If you beat this boss, if you get defeated by this boss, I mean, is there win or lose battles, you know, with different outcomes. You know, the developer has a great mind for this game, like in terms of developing, but the problem is, you know, what we've been speaking the whole podcast, you know, being too lorry, having side quests that really don't have nothing really to do with the story, or it shouldn't have nothing to do with the story, and it should just be that side quest, you know, not a main quest. So
yeah.
So I really have faith in this game. You know, I wanted to see the developer, you know, want me to play more of this game. I didn't play more of it because I wanted to stay on topic with the podcast. And maybe I will do, you know, another restream of this game to see how far it actually can go. Like, is it going to repeat itself? You know, or whatnot? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. You won't really know till you actually try and play it out.
Yeah.
You also gotta consider, like, nowadays, right? People are busy. So many like adult people who work a job, they have like 1 or 2 hours to game in the evening, and if your game doesn't start to go anywhere within like 5 hours, who's gonna play it? Like they don't have time to read for
agree.
5
I
hours to
agree.
get
Like
to anything.
the competition is really great out there. It's really, really big, you know, and it goes down to the same fact that, you know, RPG Maker, well, I play a RPG Maker game over Legend of Dragoon 2 or
That's
Elden
the
Ring,
thing. And
you
that's
know.
where I get these answers. Like, my game is not for everybody. Yeah, I get that. That's a stupid argument.
Yeah, I agree, because a game is a game. So you wanna not just, if your game isn't for everybody, then I don't think you should be making a game, to be honest.
Like,
I
Because
mean, it doesn't
anybody
need to
can
be
see it.
for everybody, literally. Of course not. No game is for everybody. But like, you gotta decide: do you need or do you want an audience or do you not? You can make a free game in your free time as a hobby and be glad that some people pick it up. Sure, you can do that. Nothing wrong with that. But you can, on the other hand, just go around advertising your game everywhere to streamers and content creators and whatnot in order to get feedback. And then say, when you get feedback, then you say, oh, my game is not for everyone. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Is this what you had with the developer, a conversation?
I said, see, this is what I liked about this part right here.
Not the only one, even. Like I said, I spoke to a bunch of developers that make games just like this, like stupid amounts of dialogue, stupid amounts of tutorials, no gameplay in between. There's a lot of games like that out there. Literally everybody's first game is like that, because making dialogue boxes is fucking easy. Everybody can do that. Everybody can write some text in a box. And that's what many, especially first-time developer games are. They're a whole bunch of dialogues that explain a whole bunch of shit that doesn't matter, and they got no gameplay in there. And then if you give them your feedback, and I mean, pretty much like 3/4 out of the podcasts here are seasoned developers already, right? Psychronic has like a huge fucking universe going on. One Man Indie made games. D7 has started his game. I got a game. I got multiple games in the works. Like, we're not talking out of our asses here, right? We have some amount of experience in this. But if you talk to them, it's always, if you question them, why is there so much dialogue? This doesn't say anything. It's just text for the sake of text. Then the argument is always either it's supposed to be like that, it's supposed to be a slow burner, it's supposed to be not for everybody, and it's always that. And that's weird to me. Like, on one hand, you say you want to make a niche game that nobody cares about, except for like 5 to 10 people. And on the other hand, you're reaching out to all these content creators looking for feedback, but you're not taking the feedback.
I think the best feedback could be from like true feedback. You know, not saying like how to improve the game, but see how people react to the game. Is go after those players that's not really into the development of RPG Maker. You know what I mean? Get those potential everyday gamers without the developer's mind to play your game and see how they react to it and respond to it.
Let me just,
I think you have a different view on how your game is played and made.
Let me just answer Ricky's question. Initially, I try to play a game for at least an hour and 30 minutes. At least I tried to. The reason why is I want to try to get as much of the game as I possibly can get of it. I want to try anyway. Unfortunately, what I've seen in many cases, it's either like I said before, I usually have a lot of patience with games because I know what it's like to be a player and I try to take that in consideration because also I've developed a game. So I'm trying to take that in consideration as well. They're trying to get to some point with this, but it just seemed like there was just so much stuff because I'm trying to look around to try to find the with this particular game, it was a lot of fetch quests, at least in that particular part of the game in the school. Before I could get to anything else that was even good about it. And as I think I tried to do the best I could, I got an hour out of it. But after the hour, I literally was just mentally exhausted. I couldn't just see myself just wanting to keep pushing through for another 30 minutes. If I'm playing your game and I'm literally just looking at my watch and seeing how long have I played it, it's not a fun experience. It's
the
not.
game doesn't value the time of the player like at all.
And the reason why the podcast is necessary is because it's not just a podcast of us just talking. It's a podcast where we're giving feedback on it from 4 different people. It's not just me that's doing it. It's 4 other people who experienced it. And together we're trying to give a holistic explanation of the experience of the game, the good, the bad, and in between. This is the reason why we have 4 different individual personalities, because there may be something that I missed. I'm not perfect. So I know that I may have picked up something that D7 may not. D7 may pick up something that Harlequin may not. Harlequin may pick up something that Doug may not. Doug may pick up something that I didn't. So it's a way that we're trying to form up, kind of like Voltron. For those of you who don't, if you're familiar with it, to try to give the best, I guess, breakdown of what the experience of for the game we have here. So yeah, I get it. It does seem like maybe we're kind of ragging on the game, but I think the reason why I guess I'm so passionate about it because I initially liked the first like 10 to 15 minutes of the game. The premise and the promise of the game was just that interesting that I would love to see this actually reworked to actually fulfill that promise. So I hope that answers your question, Ricky.
And I'd like to say some things too.
Please, bro.
So on Ricky's point. So this is also about it's not just the 4 of us to give in our opinion about a game, and a lot of us are going into playing the game that's chosen kind of blind, right? Because one of us picks the game for the others. Next week's game, I'm going to be picking, and I think it's a really cool game, and I really enjoyed it. You'll see what it is next week, but or ahead of time, but. The other thing I want to say is this is about helping the devs, right? So if you are developing a game and you need honest feedback about whether we liked it, whether we disliked it, we can have some things about it that can be improved or changed. And a lot of the stuff, even if the impression was bad for what we played, a lot of this can be fixed. Like you can keep developing and fix these issues. And ultimately you'll have a better game for it. So for me, I mean, part of the reason why I like to do this, even if it's sometimes the games chosen wouldn't be my type of game, is to help all people that are making games make better games. So
absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, we are 4 very different types of players, I believe. Like, I'm really into more of the visual stuff. Like if a game looks boring and same-ish throughout and there's nothing unique about it, like a unique system or a unique way of doing anything, then I'm gonna be bummed out, because as I said, whether your game is free or not doesn't matter. There's over 6,000 free games on itch RPG Maker alone. So you as a game developer, whether you want a big audience or not, your game needs to respect the player's time. Your game needs to want the player to play it, not the other way around. I don't need to earn the good part of your game. The good part of your game should be right there, right? And Psychronic has, and we all do different things with RPG Maker already, right? Psychronic, I don't even know, like your battle system looks way too confusing from what I've seen for me. but you got some crazy shit going on there.
Yeah.
Right? You got like the whole world of customization I've seen. I'm like super into action sequences these days, so I'm looking for all the flashy things and making like my own kind of a little bit of a combat system that's not complicated but still like fun to just pick up and play. One Man Indie has his stuff going. Last time I checked his dev stream, he's doing some what was it, parallax mapping stuff. I could never do that. Like, if I touched an image manipulation program, I cannot do jank in that shit. And I don't know what D7 does. He just started his dev journey, but we are 4 very different kinds of players. And if 4 very different kinds of players keep telling you the same thing is wrong with your game, then chances are there's something wrong. Like, and
it can be fixed.
Probably, yeah, it can absolutely be fixed. And we gave multiple examples. Like, even myself did it. I'm also not primarily here to hurt feelings. I mean, I am what I am. Like, I'm aware, right? But I'm still here to give feedback and to help people improve. Reason why I'm being blunt, like partly at least, is people gotta deal with that shit. If you put, as D7 usually says it, if you put your game out there, publicly available for people, you're gonna get dickheads in your comment section.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
Yeah.
You're gonna get that, and you're gonna get shat on. Like,
Yeah.
I was a victim of Nico too, right? So, okay, hashtag me too and everything. But you just gotta take it on the chin and keep developing. We're not here to make you stop developing games. We're here to make you develop games better. Believe it or not, even I do.
And you gotta think about it, guys. The game we played last week, the developer, they felt like we were being too harsh on them for a game that was, supposed to have been, promoted as like a tech demo. The developer really.
Oh, that was so weird, man.
Yeah,
that was so
like,
weird.
They felt really bad, and they tried to felt like we deliberately picked their game so we could just talk bad about it. So this goes to show you the mindset of some developers, because
it's always the ego. It's always.
I'm not even gonna lie. Some games are their baby.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, some games are their baby, but as soon as they hear one bad thing about it, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to develop no more. I'm done." Stuff like that.
I mean, even if they are your baby, I mean, if your child misbehaves and acts like a dickhead in kindergarten, you still gotta discipline your child, like whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
But
you gotta nurture it too. You gotta nurture it too.
Yeah.
So we didn't know that the game was a tech demo.
Yeah, of course not. The game only said this is a work in progress, like you said on your last stream. Like, that doesn't mean anything.
It did.
And I'm like, man, these dudes gonna get us canceled on
Nobody of us could have known that this is literally a playtest version with cheats included. Like, how are we supposed to know that?
It didn't say nothing, but
it just looked like a bug.
Hold on. It did say it on their on the RPG Maker .web. It said it there, but there's no link to that from itch to even know that.
It doesn't matter. Put that information everywhere you put your game on. You can't expect people to just look every link you could possibly have on the internet about your game and check every description over there. That doesn't work like that.
All right. So now we've come to the part of the show where we give a suggested detailed price. All right. Here we go. I got the calculator ready and everything. All right. D7, based on your experience.
I'm not going first. I got to pull something up.
No. I called you on there. Come on, bro. Come on. Give me a price. If you got to do something, give me a price.
Hold on.
And remember, based on the
Actually-
experience right now, not the potential and not the future, based
Correct.
on right now.
Correct.
Really? That's how y'all talking to me?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Don't pull the loss on us.
I actually did a D7 score on this game,
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah,
So-
right, you did.
so I'm gonna use that. I
Okay.
said
Uh-huh.
99 cents.
Doggone.
nah because you gotta think about it. I actually played
Uh-huh.
as much.
Okay.
I said $3.99.
$3.99.
Yeah, I said
$3.99
$3.99 for this game, based off what I played and the potential that I feel like the game had, because I played longer than you guys.
Mm.
So I think that's
I mean,
fair.
that's not really a high bar we set here, to be honest.
Okay, Harlequin. What price you giving?
$3.99. $3.99.
$3.99 from
Zero. Refund.
Doggone.
Based on right now is a refund.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, for me it would also be 0 for now.
Wow.
Oh. Okay, so now it's coming down to me.
Hey, Realtron said you have to pay me $3.99. Wow.
Based on my experience, I gotta give it. I probably gotta give it like maybe 99, maybe 99 cents. That's
Y'all having too much money lying around, I swear to God.
Wow. Y'all cold hearted.
because even though the initial part was promising, well, you know what? Okay, I'll give it 199. But the initial part was promising. It's just you literally just kneecapped it with just so many doggone useless side quests and questing being over. It's just.
Hey, you paying $1.99 for a game you could not even manage to get your 1 hour and a half in?
Because,
Are you fucking kidding me?
Because I can respect the effort that the developer put in. I can respect that.
Who cares about effort,
you
man?
can't do effort. You can't do effort.
Yeah,
you see
what are you talking about, man?
If you played the demo and you know, look, I played it long enough to like, oh, okay, this game is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It got potential and stuff like that. See, what I saw, y'all didn't see. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta price that based on what you've seen so
That's
far.
what I'm
Hey,
saying,
y'all
that's what
are
I'm saying.
weird, man. Paying people money because you can respect the effort. That's so weird. Like, as a player, when I grab a game on Steam and it's so boring that I can't even get my 1.5 hour mark in, I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm gonna refund that.
If someone could spend a ton of effort into beating the crap out of me, it doesn't mean
It doesn't make any sense, man. It doesn't make any sense. $1.99 out of respect for the effort, man. Are we handling like participation certificates here or something?
But the game is non-commercial. It is
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's not. Okay, I mean, yeah, you can do that.
All right, so based on the price, it comes out to $5.98. Divide that by 4. Hold on, wait a minute.
Y'all is hard, man. Watch people on the Discord are gonna take away their requests. Watch.
I swear to God, if only keep spending money on games out of respect, I'm gonna push out shitty 1 hour RPG Maker games, and if you don't buy all of them and play them to the fullest, I'm gonna fucking sue you, man. And I'm gonna denounce you too.
And he's gonna denounce me.
Too bad we won't be able to review my game on this channel. Thank God.
Man, I'm gonna do an extra stream for that, and I'm inviting all of you over. It's the SG podcast then for that 1 week.
Working on my Asher sequences right now. I've been busy with those all day.
So altogether, it's a price of about $1.50. It's 1.499 1.495. So it's about $1.50
So,
for get all 4 of us.
pretty much what can you buy with $1.50?
A different game.
soda.
Come on, man.
And the
Come
soda.
on, man.
This dude said a different game. Wow.
That's just crazy. But
Man.
see, I'm trying to be nice about it and just trying to go through the whole.
Isaiah said some candy.
Some candy.
Listen,
Come on.
man, I'm living on $600 in a month, right? I ain't got no time to spend money on a game simply because someone put effort into it. I play games so I have fun. And don't expect me to pay $1.99 for a game I couldn't even play 2 hours because it was so boring. You all have too much money.
I mean, I get it. I get that. I mean, but
So are we going to tell the developer one thing we should tell them before we leave?
I think I said enough.
Yeah, we pointed out exactly what was wrong. We pointed out possible solutions for that. We pretty much said what needed to be said multiple times. we all agreed on the same points of issue here in this game, like everybody.
But I will say this, Fortuna, I see so much potential in this.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing.
I really do, dear. I'm hoping that you listen and maybe re-listen to this and listen to what we're saying. Just literally spit out the meat, eat the meat and spit out the bone. You know what I'm talking about, D, when I say that. Just take what we're saying here and use it. I'm telling you, if you do that, I promise you, you would be able to sell this game and people would be happy to pay the price because of what you have. But the story that you have in here and some of the battle mechanics, if this was just that and you just continued with a little bit more linear path to your story, yeah, I think you can do it. I think you can do it with this. Honestly, I do believe that.
I mean, one little thing I might add, like the maps are too big. They don't need to be that big. There's a lot of empty space there for no reason.
I could get with that.
Yeah, and you can save a lot of walking time by just making them smaller. They don't need to be that big.
Yeah. Oh, what you got to say, D?
Keep developing. You know, a lot of people may not know, but I had a first project, and I thought it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really thought my project was off the chain. Nobody.
Man, I remember that
I
stream.
wanted to I was going to sell it for $20. I ain't gonna lie, but playing other art, I'ma upload it. Y'all gonna be able to download it and play it for yourselves.
Okay.
Soon. So I actually thought it was really good. But when I started getting to the Let's Plays and playing RPG games from like majority of developer, you guys, there's no way. I had to get no. I feel
had to run back to the lab.
I feel ashamed about that game. Not even gonna lie, and I put in hundreds of hours.
Man, but doing all these gameplays must have really like improved your game dev skills before even starting. Like I've seen some of your new maps you're doing. Like you showed me some, and that's like not bad at all. Like for a let's say first time developer, like goddamn.
Yeah. You didn't.
It's more actually. I'm taking what I've learned and actually like, wanting to put out what people may like. Like I don't want to have a whole bunch of dialogue. I want to do my stuff to mostly like cut scenes and stuff like that with action cut scenes. Trying to get away from that over explaining yourself.
Yeah, so, that's what I try to do as well. Like just give a few infos, have an intro cutscene, bam, bam, and then let the player play the game. Let them explore themselves. They can figure it out themselves. They have a brain.
I'm about to block this guy. Isaiah, I'm a mod, so I can block you, bro. You keep talking junk.
Ain't nobody play that game, man. Come on now. Competition is something. Even in RPG, you make a land. But if you know what, that's good that the competition is stiff, Blade, because it helps us all to become better. It does. I've become better from playing it. I've become better from actually hearing the feedback from it. And I've used it. Some of it was, like I said before, the initial release of Slime Kingdom, the first one, was roasted, turned on the spit. They poked me a couple of times, make sure I was done, and they roasted me on the other side of it.
And when I started Origins, I was like, yeah, that's cool. We got action sequencing and everything. And then I saw like some trailers from and I played Trials of Cascade and I was like, hell nah. I can't hold a candle to that with my game. Right? I gotta go back and I gotta fix that shit right up, and I need that action sequence. It's like, oh my goodness.
Trials is gonna be like,
it's gonna be crazy.
To me, Trials is like Trials is a AAA game in my opinion. Like it's a perfect reimagination of a classic RPG made in modern standards.
I can't even emulate that. Like that takes practice and knowledge of the engine to the full extent. And Brent has told me he's still learning some stuff.
Of course. I'm giving him feedback on Twitter a lot. Like he takes advice very seriously too.
Yeah.
Like, he's not butthurt about it, even when I'm blunt to him. Like he appreciates it. He knows that I'm acting in good faith.
Yeah.
So
again, Fortuna, I'm wishing you nothing but the best. I'm hoping that you still continue and develop on this project. Do not lose heart. Don't cheat the story. Do not cheat the development of the game. Do not cheat what you've already done already. That would be just a disservice, even to yourself. Not even just to the gameplay, just to yourself for all the effort you put into it. Please go back, rework on a few things, and I promise you, I guarantee, even if you want to make a price, I'll say it again, people will be willing to pay with what you have.
Exactly. And I would definitely
I would too
support this game. I definitely support this game
because I'm interested in seeing how the story turns out. So I'm gonna let everybody close this out here. I guess I'll go with Harlequin first. Any final thoughts, bro?
Good question. I don't think so. Yeah, I said everything I needed to say. Like, aside from the mapping part, as I said, I would probably try to cut down their size a little bit. That saves walking time, and there's really no reason other than it's a big academy. Duh, the maps need to be big. No, they don't really. Mm-hmm. Aside from that, we already pointed out multiple times what we think is wrong. And Omi already said multiple times, we do not want you to stop developing. We do want you to continue. Yeah, nothing else needs to be said, I think.
All right, Doug, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I would just say that just try to take the feedback in stride. I've given, other people's feedback on my game has helped to make, I'm learning new stuff all the time, practicing all the time, and I'm getting better all the time if I just keep at it. But a lot of times, some of the most valuable feedback has actually come from people that didn't enjoy the game, didn't enjoy my game. And I was like, oh, okay. I know it's not your type of game, and I know that this probably bugged you more than it would somebody else who would like this type of game. But I can at least adjust it a little bit to where somebody that's on the fence or halfway in between will end up landing on the side of I like this game, and it's never over. It's never done.
Yeah,
basically.
That's good advice.
All right, D7.
Yeah, like I said, keep grinding, and those who came out today, thank you for coming out. If you haven't liked the stream, please like the stream, please share it, please let people know that we do this type of thing every Wednesday at 2 p.m. EST. And also, we are doing requests on the Discord, so if you want us to play your game, go to the request page and leave the link to your game. If you are a developer who has a commercial game and you want us to play it, you gotta leave us some Steam keys. So give us some Steam keys if you want us to play your game. And once again, I want to appreciate you guys for just supporting the stream and and just keeping us hyped about doing this type of stuff.
All right. Well, I myself do want to, again, as D7 said, I want to thank everybody who came by. I want to thank everyone who will be coming for the restream. And also those of you who might be interested in stopping by the Spotify transmissions of the Omniverse, where this will also be up as well later on today. Again, I've gotten one more listener to the channel, to the Spotify channel. So I'm 98 down. So if you help me get me there, again, it's a free listen, free follow, and it does help me out. So if you did like it, please feel free to hit down there and also support your boy. Give your boy a little helping hand. And on that note, I want to thank you, everybody who came by. God bless you. God loves you. And I hope to see you again on the other side, God willing.